Welcome back to PlayStation Corner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at all my favourite deals across the PSN stores covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Now this video, it is any price goes, so if you're looking for the cheaper side of things, check out Saturday's video where I stick to those games that are coming in under $10 or your local currency. Gotta say though, at this point, look, this is a monster week, that is for sure. You know, the days of play sale has begun, so with that, hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family, and let's get started. So before we do start, we do have a winner to announce later in the video for a $10 PSN gift card, and we actually have another one to give away this week. As always, all you need to do, drop a comment down below and the winners, they'll be announced in next week's video. This week was a tough one though, not because I couldn't find the deals to feature, but rather there were so many deals because of days of play that I didn't know what to cut out. So with that in mind, all of today's deals, they are all-time new low prices, except for 3 of the games featured. So first up then, we have Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age. It's a JRPG that everyone needs to play. It's a masterpiece, and I own it myself, not only on the PlayStation, but also the Nintendo Switch. That's how much I liked it. A core Dragon Quest experience, so this is a turn-based experience, and you set out to protect the lands across basically what is a huge world, and with this huge cast of characters for your party. It looks good though, it sounds good, it plays good, and this is a new all-time low with 35% off. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales then was one of the first reviews I actually did for this PlayStation channel, and I absolutely adored it. The freedom to swing around New York City has lost just none of its thrill, and while yes, I think it's not quite at the level of the original game, it's still a very good game that has a very likeable cast. It's also the same map as that original game, which might sound like it could be a little bit, you know, kind of dull in a sense, but they cover it in snow for Christmas and it looks absolutely stunning. This one, it's PS4 and 5 because it includes a free upgrade, and it's a new all-time low here with 20% off, and that's basically because it's never been on sale before. Judgment then is here with 50% off, and that matches the all-time low. The reason I wanted to mention this one though, it's just had a sequel announced, and it is a genius game that I'm psyched to see kind of come back. Made by the same team behind Yakuza though, the gameplay is very similar, but you're basically a disgraced liar turned kind of private investigator, and you'll not only be exploring and fighting your way around this location, but also solving the occasional case as well. The only thing I will add, there is a stunning looking PS5 release, but that is not a free upgrade here, so do not buy this one looking for that. So on the Open World 5 then, Mafia Definitive Edition is a great option for GTA fans out there that want something that's got a bit more of a, I guess, throwback setting. It shows its age, that is for sure, but I love this game first time around. Still very much the case as we kind of follow our rise up the ranks of a family, but yeah, it's just the characters, they're unique, the voice acting is solid, I love the music, the overall story, it's just worth seeing through. The only issue with this one, I would say, is its age in a sense. It can kind of feel a little undercooked with things by today's standards. It's relatively linear basically, that's probably the best way to describe it. 40% off though marks the new all-time low. Okay, so let's take a look at our lowest ever percentage sales, in the sense that you're not going to be saving too much cash, but they are all first time ever sales, and I've actually got 3 of them for you this week. The first one, that is MLB The Show 2021. It is a brand new release. Not going to pretend I know anything about this game. I think the last installment I played was like 2019, but they're fun sims. I'm not sure how big, you know, the upgrades are year to year in this case, but there's 2 versions on sale right now. You got the PS4 one, and that's the price above you're seeing right now, as well as the PS5 edition, and that's a decent little jump in your cash. Sadly though, no free upgrade with this one from PS4 to PS5 if that in any way impacts your decision. This one though, it's rocking 17% off for that PS4 build, and then 14% off for the PS5. Nioh Collection then, and I wanted to mention this one because, as I say, new all-time low, first ever sale in fact, but this is one of my bigger regrets, honestly, when it comes to my PS5 library. I've not actually finished this build of the game yet. It's a monster amount of game right here, well over 100 hours, but I just wasn't that impressed with the upgrade, honestly, and on reflection, probably would have stuck with my PS4 copies. That all said though, like, incredible games, brutally difficult in a kind of Souls-like fashion, and if you've never played them before, absolutely do it. I just don't think it was enough for me personally to warrant a second full playthrough. Another 14% off though, as I say, with this one, and that is not a bad discount considering how new it is. The final smaller discount then with 14% off, and I can absolutely get behind this game, that is Demon's Souls. Masterpiece, hell of a rebuild as well. It's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and I think like many people out there, this was the first game to ever enter my PlayStation 5, and it didn't leave, honestly, for a good while. Mirroring that original kind of game though, nearly exactly throughout. Just come here expecting brutal difficulty, a very like unique world, and the game's design is just an absolute another level. It's also a powerhouse of a game as well, and for me this is kind of a go-to to, you know, when friends come over, I'm like, look at what the PlayStation 5 can do. Alright, so I really enjoyed this one, but Haven, it comes from the team that was behind a game called Fury, which was an absolute masterpiece of a boss rush title, so think ultra challenging, but here they actually did what I didn't expect, which was a title that's kind of honestly easy. The idea, two lovers, they've escaped a fate of being separated from an unknown world, and you are left now to explore this kind of new planet and just essentially survive. I won't pretend it's action-packed, it is not, but I really enjoyed the story. It's kind of like a take on a character study, if anything, and its music and visual style, yeah, for the right player, it's absolutely worth this new all-time low of 30% off. Alright, so sword wielding fans, let's talk about two modern classics. I'm not sure what the age is to define something as a classic, so to speak, but in my eyes, first up, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, well worth that tag. I absolutely fought for months to get a retail priced copy of the collector's edition of this one, and I'm happy to say it is finally in my collection. Incredibly fast paced, so great looking game, and just hard as hell. This is for those of you that want something that's not just, you know, forgiving, I suppose is the best way to put it, but because it's going to be absolutely rewarding. But yeah, essentially it's going to kick your ass more than a few times, and it's matching the all-time low of 50% off. Then if you want something that in my opinion is a little easier going, it might be a controversial description honestly, but Ghost of Tsushima, I personally found this was a little easier going than Sekiro. You know, I will say though it's got at least a less restrictive world, I guess, but still a fantastic game. I absolutely loved it. In fact, don't get me wrong, just Sekiro kind of stuck with me more. If you played like both though, let me know in the comments down below your ranking of where you would put them. But yeah, again, incredible. This is me comparing basically masterpiece versus masterpiece, honestly. But again, stunning world, love the story, and I can't wait to see more, because with the sales numbers this one got behind it, there's no question we're getting a sequel in the future, and it is well worth this 33% off. So always controversial then, but Call of Duty, it's on sale again, and this is Black Ops, which, let's be frank, a lot of people, you know, despised. I enjoyed it honestly, but you know what? It wasn't the gameplay or anything else. It's the fact that this was one of the first PS5 games I owned, and its use of the DualSense is incredible, with the triggers that kind of respond to the guns in different ways, and you know, that vibration and tension that you felt. The story, it was a fun ride as well though, and yeah, not a huge discount, but we have two builds on offer here. We got the PS4 build, which is 40% off, which we actually had just a moment ago above, and then the cross-gen bundle, which is actually 36% off. It's a funny one. Normally I would recommend cross-gen if you have an intention of grabbing that PS5 eventually, but honestly at this rate, look, the next COD will probably be out before it's somewhat available like to buy, so the call is absolutely yours. So Monster Energy Supercross 4 is a funny one. I would have never looked at a Supercross game in my life, but I got a good relationship with Milestone, the devs behind it, over on Switch Corner, and somehow I kind of became a motocross fan, and I really like this game a lot. Not because it's the best of the best, which is not an insult, rather it's, you know, there's basically no competition out there for it. I really like it though. I have a lot of fun with this one, and the skill isn't simply about going as fast as possible here, but rather understanding the racing line here and how to gain the most momentum. It won't be for everyone this one, but a new all-time low of 30% off. Alright, so before our second winner, as we get into the final 3 games of the week, we will stick with the racing vibe here with F1 2020. Hands down the best racing game on the PlayStation in my opinion. Codemasters don't just deliver a racing game here that's, fun for a few days. This is a genuine title that will keep you busy till the annual release, and I can't wait to see what they do with the upcoming PS5 build, because yeah, if it's anything like this, the controls are incredible, the graphics are stunning, one of the most incredibly challenging sports and just racing games that is. Yeah, you will absolutely feel that in the gameplay, I promise you that. This is a new all-time low here with 75% off, and this is money well spent. Okay, so our winner of the week then, and it's going to King Smurf, great name, who was grabbing Vanquish. Quality game, I feel that it is underappreciated, but if you played it first time around, which it sounds like King Smurf did, you know how good that game is. Thank you though Smurf and everyone that actually joined in for the competition last week. If you do want to enter this week to win in next week's video, all you need to do, drop a comment down below, and the winners, as I said, they're going to be announced in next week's video. With that though, let's get on to our final 2 games, and we're going to be starting with Persona 5 Strikers. So this is not your typical Persona game. It's combining, that world, that Persona world, with Dynasty Warriors for some good old combat. What surprised me though with this one was the fact they not only kind of got the all-out combat of that world, but they mixed it with a fantastic story and just incredible RPG mechanics. The first 2 hours here of this game, they're just nothing but story and talking. That's in a positive way, by the way, as well, but I also kind of want to I want to set up realistic expectations in the sense that yes, it is dialogue heavy, but in every way a Persona fan could ever ask for. It's currently a new all-time low with 30% off, and I absolutely recommend it. So our final game of the week then, that is Yakuza Like a Dragon. This one actually has a free upgrade from PS4 to PS5, but they really mixed things up with this one in the sense they switched from the all-out action combat for something more traditional of the JRPG world, and that is they went turn-based. Took me a little while to warm up to it honestly, but once I did, really liked it, and it contains all the kind of weird humor and world building that I kind of expect of that Yakuza name. Looks good though, it plays good, and that story for sure just kept me engaged. So RPG fans, consider taking a look with this new all-time low of 30% off. With that though, what will you be adding to the library, or are you holding onto that cash? This is just me kind of scraping the surface of everything that's on offer right now. Over 500 sales alone were added today. That is absolutely crazy. I'm actually tempted, in fact, to throw another sales video out there tomorrow just to kind of try and cover a little bit more. With that though, just let me know in the comments below, what will you be adding to the library? What have I missed so far? I absolutely want to cover every single deal. So with that, hit subscribe, join our growing PlayStation family, and I will see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.